YouTube? I actually have another battle here today on the PO system. This is going to actually be versus tobias22. It's actually going to be an OU battle. I decided to try some OU lately, and I've actually been liking Sandstorm. Kind of weird, right? Because that's what UU tries to go against. Basically any kind of weather, really. So I'm just going to shift into my Fortress as he's going to go for the U-turn because your EQ early game isn't really that likely. So I'm going to switch into Heatran. He's most likely going to go for a Fire Blast or some sort of fire move, and I'll get in the Flash Fire, and I'm going to go for an Earth Power myself, not actually carrying Stealth Rocks because that is what Tyranitar is for. And knowing that with the Flash Fire boost, I will be able to KO the Hippowdon after the prior damage from Earth Power. I will go for it safely with the Fire Blast, and I will basically be fine. So here I'm going to scout what he is going to use, and he's actually going to go for a Earthquake. And unfortunately, that does mean I have to switch. Instead of him actually going for something such as a U-turn, I will switch in my Latias. Here I'm actually going to take the opportunity to set up a Calm Mind, see what he thinks his best switch-in would be. And unfortunately, he does choose Tyranitar, and being that my only move it chose is Psycho Shock, I don't exactly know why. I don't know what was going through my head when I made this team. Is really just a upcoming moment. Just like, let's get an OU team done, and let's get it done fast. So I'm going to switch into Fortress as he's actually going to go for a Dragon Dance. Really, this Dragon Dances set aren't really that likely, which makes them all the more viable, seeing as no one really can expect them. Therefore, they don't really have too many things to counter them. One of the main things being Skarmory, Gliscor, but usually nothing else but that. So yeah, so I'm just going to scout here what he might want to go for in case he's a banned one, but unfortunately he is a Swords Dancer, and basically I know that usually now they only carry dual stabs, so I'm going to have to sack Terrakion here, seeing as he's going to be the least useful, even though I could have used him to help take down Landorus, but I did not decide to, just because I figured many of my other Pokemon can try to handle it, and usually do a good job. So I'm going to send out Heatran right here, because dual stab, usually carrying Roost, not going to hurt Heatran at all, but I'm going to go for Fire Blast here. It's not going to do much to Tyranitar, usually because Tyranitars are especially bulky thanks to the Sandstorm themselves. So I'm just going to go for an Earth Power. Unfortunately, that will not be enough to KO from this range. Being that I am especially defensive and no investment into special attack itself, I am not really surprised. So I'm going to switch into Latias just to scout if he has the Earthquake, and he shows he does. And so not something I really want to have to deal with, so I'm going to switch back into Fortress, and I'm just going to let him take the crunch. Fortunately, he's not actually carrying Life Orb, so this is not going to be done as simply as possible. So, being with my defense drop that he gained from Crunch, I will unfortunately be taking a lot more from Stealth Rock, from Stone Edge, I should say, than I usually would be. So, seeing the prior damage, I do not want to have to basically take more. So, I'm just going to go for a Gyro Ball, end it here, getting one layer spikes up. Unfortunately, with my defensive drop, I wouldn't have been able to get more. I might have in the usual turn, but unfortunately not this time. So, I'm going to go into Scizor just to let it take a U-turn, since it's not going to be doing too much itself. And here I know I will not be able to outspeed, because Heatrans are decent speed, about 70 base if I'm correct. And I'm going to go to Tyranitar to scout probably a Fire Blast, but he's actually going to go for Dragon Pulse, which tells me he's more of a special attacker. Don't exactly know what yet, unless he's wearing a weird conventional set that still is specially defensive, but I couldn't touch it either way with Tyranitar, so I'm just going to switch out, and I'm going to go into Latias, as I expected the EQ straight from the start, because seeing how I've been predicting, I thought he might want to just go straight for an EQ, but unfortunately this will cost me, and I'm going to stay in, unfortunately, with Latias, because I really have nothing left for it to do. So I'm going to go into my Scizor as the upcoming turn is going to come by, because I really need a way to take advantage of his Scizor himself. Usually going to have to do that with my my own Heatran, but he's going to switch into his as I go for the superpower, now revealing that I'm banded, which doesn't really matter in the end, because not too much that's going to happen that's all important. So he's going to send out Metagross, and I'm going to take this as an opportunity to sack my Fortress, being that I don't need it. And he's actually going to go for a Hammer Arm. Haven't seen this Metagross or OU really in general lately, so I don't really know what's going on. I'm just trying to play my best as I know. So he's going to go for a Hammer Arm. I know that he's not going to want to stay in, no guaranteeing I'm faster, but unfortunately here I will miss this Fire Blast. But doesn't really prove to be too problematic, because next turn showing I am able to outspeed, and I will KO with this Fire Blast. He's probably just trying to get a Roost up, or just trying to KO, maybe carrying Brick Break instead of Roost, but I'm not too certain. So I'm going to switch out, because actually no, I'm sorry, I'm going to go for Protect, as he's going to go for another Earthquake, but I don't have Latios anymore just to generally take that, but unfortunately I will have to sack my Tyranitar being as he's the least useful this rest of the match. He has no proper use to KO any of those unless he depends on surviving a move, but being that he's slower, he most definitely will not, and just shown by the earthquake damage, definitely. So here he's going to switch out into his Metagross. I'm not going to want to basically try to challenge this. So I'm going to go for my Bullet Punch since I'm locking it as he switched out. So I'm just going to switch out this turn. I'm going to let Heatran take a hit. Hopefully he won't go for the EQ, but he actually decides to go for a Hammer Arm, and that brings me down to about 10%. Fortunately, I do survive, automatically telling me that he's not banded or anything. So I'm going to go for a Fire Blast, and that's going to take him out from this range, and basically a good game here because I could just sack my Heatran, and I could just kill him off with a Bullet Punch thanks to Scizor. So that's going to be a good game here after I kill off with my Scizor. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe if you wish. I really enjoy your feedback and anything, really. So I'll see you guys next time when I have another PO battle waiting in the wings. So I'm just going to get some done and see you later.